No, 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 no. Oh!
Niño, niño.
Okay. Oye, let go.
Oh!
Hey, let go.
Niño, niño.
Hey. Hey, let go. Hey, let go.
Niño, niño.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
Oh my gosh! Oh no!
오케이.
Crusade 811 and 37, Ghost War, the Seventh Black Crusade, also known informally as the Ghost War, was a Black Crusade against the Imperium of Man led by Abaddon the Despoiler and his Black Legion, which took place in 811.37. The forces of chaos poured out from the Eye of Terror to attack Cadia, and then disappeared. During this event, Abaddon stole a large number of Blood Angel Geneseeds and used them to trade with Fabius Bile. The following year saw a game of hide and seek between the forces of chaos and the Imperium of Man, which spread stories of confusion, paranoia, misinformation and deception across the galaxy. This event is what gave the conflict its name, the Ghost War. Surprise raids became common in the outlying areas, but eventually the Chaos Gangs returned to the Eye of Terror, causing much trouble but failing to significantly weaken the Empire's defenses at the time. The Seventh Black Crusade began when the Black Legion fleet sailed out of the Eye of Terror undetected and landed secretly on a nearby world of the Imperium. The entire planet was destroyed before the Imperial army could muster the strength to repel the traitor legions. Abaddon proved himself a master tactician, well suited to confronting the commanders of the Imperial Navy and battle fleet Obscurus. Abaddon consistently outmaneuvered Imperial scouting parties and confounded their efforts to find him. While the Imperium attempted to find and defeat Abaddon's fleet, his Black Legions wreaked havoc on Imperial settlements and nearby world systems. Deep beneath the volcanoes of the Harness Collective, the traitor legion breached the seals on the Great Steam Veins, leaving millions screaming as clouds of molten steam engulfed their cities. On the stormy Jiro Ocean, the renegade Space Marines sank silt mining sites and fed the workers there to the warp sharks. The Black Legion attacked the Adeptus Mechanicus space stations of Nice. Deep within the Megorium Nebula system, the traitors ransacked the space station's warehouses, taking ancient Eldar artifacts recovered by the Adeptus Mechanicus. When the Imperial forces arrived, they found the Black Legion gone and the space station decorated with the corpses of tech priests and servitors. While the Ghost Wars raged for many standard years, one skirmish stood out as the most bloody in Chaos' long list of deeds. On the world of Meccan, the Black Legion and their allied forces were facing a Blood Angel company. The traitor legion had ravaged the world, burning its cities to torchlight and tearing apart the Cathedral of Radiance that had been erected to honor the Emperor's power. Arriving in time to halt the traitors' slaughter, the sons of Sanguinius had set up defensive positions around the Black Legion's landing zone in an attempt to cut them off from their fleet. Although the war eventually ended with the deaths of a majority of the Blood Angels at the hands of Abaddon the Despoiler and his sorcerer lord Iskander Kion and the swordmaster Telemach and Lyris, the surviving Death Company was commanded by the Celestian Reclusiarch Doris, who endured weeks of hardship in the wilderness, keeping his berserker warriors undetected. When the time came, Joris led his Death Company in a lightning raid behind enemy lines, killing the Despoiler's guards, allowing the Reclusiarch to duel Abaddon himself. It is said that the Chaos Warmaster still bears the scars of that battle, even millennia later. Whatever the truth of the matter, it is known that the Despoiler honored Joris after the battle, perhaps in mockery, or perhaps in sincerity. After the fighting on Meccan ended, hundreds of Blood Angels lay dead, their bodies and gene seeds irreparably damaged. Of all the bodies, only a few were identified: Reclusiarch Joris and his Death Company, clad in shattered black ceramite, were placed on makeshift thrones made from the armor of the Black Legion warriors they had slain that fateful day. The strike cruiser Sanguintier was also destroyed by forces under Khan the Betrayer. Abaddon killed the commander Acleon in a duel that resembled the duel between Horus and Sanguinius. Abaddon used the Geneseeds stolen from the Blood Angels during this conflict to create new Chaos Space Marines with the assistance of Fabius Bile, later on the world of Midian. As the Blood Angels fought against the forces of Chaos, Abaddon led a Cornate Berserker squadron into every corner of the Blood Angels' positions. Even the Blood Angels' shock troops were unable to dislodge the rampaging Cornates and retrieve the bodies of their comrades. But at that moment, the Blood Angels were rescued by an unknown chapter clad in grey armor. The ships of this mysterious chapter attacked Abaddon's forces, relieved the Blood Angels of Midian, and pursued the traitor legions. Images of these events were recorded in the frescoes and released in the world of Hypacidus cemetery created to bury those honored in that war. Curiously, the faces of the gray armored space marines clad in it were obscured. Later, based on information written in the Canticle of Cassandria, historians identified the mysterious chapter as Carcharodons, a subchapter of Raven Guard.
Blood Drinkers. Of the few chapters that carry the Blood Angel's bloodline, only a few can resist the curse of Red Thirst and Black Rage. The most prominent of these is the Blood Drinkers chapter. In fact, the Blood Drinkers are the chapter most affected by Red Thirst and Black Rage. The number of Blood Drinkers who have just been promoted to Battle Brother immediately fall under Black Rage, as often as meals. By M37, the Blood Drinkers will almost be wiped out due to the large number of Space Marines who have to join the Death Company. At this time, a Blood Drinker named Holos received a premonition in his sleep and decided to go to the highest peak of the Calicium Mountains, the most dangerous place in the Blood Drinker homeworld. Very few Blood Drinkers survived when entering that mountain, and so did Holos. When he reached the top of the mountain, Holos was completely exhausted and had no strength left. At that moment, an angel appeared with a bright halo as Holos had predicted. The angel healed Holos and gave him a reward, which was a ritual to restrain the Red Thirst and the Black Rage. Holos then returned and taught this ritual to the chapter. Thanks to the Holos ritual, the Blood Drinkers escaped destruction and became one of the few chapters in the Blood Angel's lineage with very few death companies. However, it was all a lie. The angel that Holos met was actually the demon lord Kairos Fate Weaver. Kairos made a deal with Holos. Kairos would grant Holos the ritual to save the Blood Drinkers. In return, he would be given the right to transform the vision of the Death Companies. Instead of witnessing the death of Sanguinius at the hands of Horus, they would witness the scene of Holos making a deal with Kairos. Kairos would randomly choose a Death Company battle brother and show them that scene. At the same time making a new deal with that person, Kairos would cure all Red Thirst and Black Rage, at the price that the Blood Drinkers had to serve chaos. All that Battle Brother needed to do was say, agree. That was enough. From M37 until now, Kairos has offered this deal to 18 Blood Drinkers. All of them refused, but Kairos will still wait because only one person agreed is enough. The Raptors. This is the chapter that most closely resembles the Reasonable Marines. The Raptors are a loyalist chapter and the second founding of the Raven Guard, thought to have been founded after the Isfahan V massacre. The chapter has participated in numerous campaigns for the IOM, including the Badab War, the Third War of Armageddon, and the Taros campaign. As a chapter, the Raptors have been nearly extinct on several occasions, but have learned to adapt to changing circumstances so well that they have thrived in situations where other chapters would have perished. Unlike other chapters who pursue glory in battle, the Raptors, on the other hand, always consider their attack tactics to minimize casualties and sometimes use methods that others would consider dishonorable to achieve their goals. Having been nearly wiped out so many times, This chapter does not care about the method of execution as long as it can carry out Baiji's wishes. And so this chapter leans towards marksmanship, operates independently, and looks at the Codex Astartes only for reference, and if necessary, it will be ignored. In campaigns, they will scout the enemy, deploy forces to important places, and attack quickly by assassinating the enemy leader with Bolt Stalker, destroying logistics posts, and if they fail, there will be a force that will rush in and strike first before the enemy has time to understand what is happening.
The warp is a strange and terrible place. You might as well throw a traveler into a sea of sharks and tell him to swim home as send him through the warp unprotected. Better it is not to let common man travel through the stars. Better still, let him not know such a thing is feasible. The warp is a dimension that exists parallel to our own. It has many names: warp space, the immaterium, the empyrean, the ether, the sea of souls, and the realm of chaos. The warp contains a lot of chaos energy and is also the home of the chaos gods. The sea of souls has no fixed shape, nor is it subject to the normal laws of space and time. Its energy is always disturbed and cannot be balanced. To visualize it, the warp is like a purple ocean of energy with energy streams moving, flowing, undulating, like waves. Although it is different from our space, they are still related to each other. A fully equipped spaceship can still enter and exit the warp easily. In fact, the warp is the only way for humans to travel to distant places in the galaxy without taking too much time due to its time nature. Just by breaking into the warp and riding a wave of its energy, we can go anywhere in the universe. The Formless Wastes is a place in the warp that is not controlled by the chaos gods. The energies of the greater demons or demon princes sometimes reach and influence it. The Formless Wastes is also home to warp creatures such as furies, grotesques, and gargoyles, who are forbidden by the chaos gods from entering their realm. They roam the wastes, seeking lost souls of men to consume. The warp is a vital factor in the survival of humanity. Starships can travel thousands of light years in a matter of days by traveling through the warp. It is through this that humanity is united in a single imperium. The Emperor's will is strong, but for it to reach all of humanity, it must travel through the warp. Traveling through the warp is possible through special devices mounted on ships that allow them to enter or exit the warp, as well as travel within it like they would at sea. Time also moves much slower inside the warp. However, this method of travel has its limitations, such as taking weeks or years to travel to distant places, and who knows what might happen in a chaotic place like the warp. The warp is also a very violent place. At any given moment, an imbalance can turn a sector of the warp into a storm of unimaginable destructive power. These storms can last for days or decades. Ships caught in the storms are, at best, crushed and dumped in some corner of the universe millions of light years away.